So let's take a look at 6 designs to promote Easter at your church or any church that we have recently released. I want to unpack the design so you understand what the meaning is behind it. The hope is that you're able to figure out what works well for your church. As you hear about these design principles and concepts, you'll be able to say, "Oh, that's a good feel for us for this particular Easter season." The first design, this has a kind of a simplistic design, nice background. We're using Easter springtime colors. That really feels good when people are thinking Easter. They typically think springtime. So we're going with that color scheme. In the background, it's kind of this soft background. There's kind of this cloud in the background that just gives a nice feel to it. It looks heavenly or heavenward or upward towards the sky. And then we're promoting resurrection on this one. So the main message is resurrection. So it's a little bit different than Easter. We're saying the main message for this particular church is going to be for resurrection. And then we have the date in the lower left. It's in there. It's noticeable because of the different font that we're using, and then we do have the information also kind of baked into this title, where you can go through and read the lines. The logo for the church branding is in the upper right, so you know that it's part of this particular church. So this is design number one. The second design is it does say Easter. So Easter at Cornerstone or Easter at your church. Remember, these designs are editable. You can change them, and if you get them from us, and make the information what it needs to be. Then we have the service time, the date and time. And in the upper right, we have a "He is risen." It's just a nice little graphic. It's words, but because of the way we're treating it, it's actually it's actually seen as a graphic. It's a bit of graphic detail that is up in the upper right. It's not information that people need to know. The logo's in the lower left, so it brands the church. The design itself is symbolic of just Easter in different ways. So we've got some beautiful landscapes. We've got some rock textures that are also going on there. And then there's a golden circle with a kind of a sky graphic baked into that one. So it's got this kind of this feeling. It's a very abstract design. It kind of has this feeling that represents Easter. And then of course the palm branches on each side. Now the font says Easter very large, and then you see that first, so you know exactly what this is promoting. And then it says at Cornerstone Church. So very straightforward messaging. From a marketing perspective, this will be very effective. Nobody has to guess at what it is. Whereas the first one here, like, this is a great design, resurrection, but it doesn't necessarily say Easter to the person that's outside of the church world. Okay. This one, third design here, we've got Easter Sunday. So this one is promoting the day, Easter Sunday, but it's very clear what we're promoting. Okay, in the background, we've got the empty tomb. You can see that image in the background there. It's kind of a window shape that you're looking through to the empty tomb. So the idea, it's that window kind of represents the church. You know, you think about stained glass windows or something like that in a more traditional church environment. So you're kind of peeking through at the story of Easter, of the resurrection. We've got the date and time listed. We do have some kind of graphic eye candy going on with the Resurrection Sunday and Risen Savior on the upper right and lower left. Cornerstone, the logo is in the upper left. And then, again, this is all editable, so you can put your church logo in the upper left. And then the lower right, we have the cross equals love. That's a nice icon that's been used quite a bit by churches, just to be like a very simple message to communicate at Easter, really anytime, but at Easter especially. So again, one approach, the approach we actually like best, is just to communicate what it is. Easter Sunday, like, very straightforward. There's no guessing that needs to happen. We actually like that approach the best from a marketing perspective. Fourth design, this one is very springtime. It has a uh, warm feel to it. It feels like Easter Sunday morning. It just communicates the idea of Easter, and then at Cornerstone Church. The date's really big. The service times are really big. And then it has a nice graphic in the background of clouds and heaven, speaking to this idea of looking up or resurrection. So that's a nice message to communicate visually. We do have some textures in the background using text. So it says, "Come celebrate Resurrection Sunday," and that's kind of around the outside. And then there's a little phrase down here as well, up in the upper right, and then the lower left. Same message: "Come celebrate Resurrection Sunday." But the main primary message is Easter. That's the first thing you see. The logo is in the upper left, and that way we're communicating what church this is a part of. Okay, a couple more designs. Design number 5. Okay, so this one we're going away from Easter and we're saying the main message is He is risen. So this is a great message for those that are um, maybe in church, like you've been to church or you know church or you've gone to church before or you're in church right now, and it's just kind of rallying the troops to say, hey, we're going to come, we're going to have an Easter celebration because He is risen, right? So this is insider language. But if the goal of your Easter is to rally the church, kind of bring everybody together, maybe everybody that's been there in the last year, then this is a great message to do that. Um, and then so it's not like ultra marketing savvy like Easter Sunday, like that title, but it is from a internal perspective. It's a little bit more internal, where you're rallying the congregation to come to Easter. Okay, so then we have the information Easter Sunday at Cornerstone Church. So Easter Sunday is in there. It's just not the primary message. Then Sunday, April 7th, that's the secondary message. So you're going to see He is risen. That's the biggest thing you see. Then the next thing you see is April 7th at 10 a.m. So there's a hierarchy of information. The third thing you see is this Easter Sunday at Cornerstone, and then the logos in there. And of course, we have the 3 crosses on a hill, which is very, very straightforward as far as like what Easter is all about. The cross is empty, by the way. So the fourth, I'm sorry, that was the 5th. So this is number 6. Okay, this one is modern, abstract, has just a completely different feel to it. It's kind of a trendy design, but we're telling the Easter story. The 3 pictures in the middle, it's the cross, the empty tomb, the empty. Looks like there's a linen garment there, so it's kind of representing, you know, Christ laying down in the tomb, and then of course the stone being rolled away with the crosses in the background is the final image. So you're just kind of walking through the story of Easter in those 3 boxes. Easter's the big message. You see that really big and bold. We've got some nice graphic. I call it eye candy. It's just the way I kind of think about it. So again, these pieces of text are not informational. They're more just for decorations. Now, over here, we do have information, which is very big and bold, so people can see it. They won't miss it. So we have the date and the time, and then we also have the name of the church. Okay. Now, in this one, we're being very trendy with this one. So we're not actually using the church, the full-on church logo. We're using just the word of the church in a font that is not even the church font. So this is again a little bit more advanced from a creative standpoint, but it works really well if you want to change things up for Easter. You're not using the straight on church logo. You're using a font, and it just says the name of the church. And then we are using this church has like a mark that goes with their logo, so we're using the mark. So basically, we're trying to communicate Easter primarily, not necessarily promote the church through this design. Okay. All right. Those are each design is designed to communicate a different message. So some are internal messages to rally the church. Some are external messages to reach the community. They all have this springtime look and feel to them. And then they're all able to communicate the idea of the service time. Hopefully that helps you as a church leader to understand what do you feel like works best for you for this Easter season. And then if you're part of our membership, you can go ahead and get these files and make changes in Canva. All of them are editable using Canva. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video.